What's going on, guys? So there has been a lot of hoopla around the Houston Marathon, and it's over Matt Choi, an influencer who has a big following here on YouTube, on Instagram, and on TikTok, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts about it. So if you guys don't know Matt Choi, he is a big time influencer. He's a lot bigger than me. I have, 5,000 subscribers. He has over 100,000 on his YouTube channel, 300,000 plus on TikTok and on Instagram. So if you are on those platforms, you've seen this guy running, and he actually just ran the Houston Marathon. So the big problem with that is that he ran with somebody else's bib during the race, and there's a lot of issues with that. And as a race director myself, and also somewhat an influencer with 5,000 subscribers, there's issues with that he definitely shouldn't have done that. Like, if he was going to be running this race, he should have signed up for the race for sure. And if it was full, he shouldn't have ran the race. He should have ran probably Louisiana Marathon, which is just down the road. That probably would have been a race that he could have done. But as a race director myself, I know the process of we use Run Sign Up for our races. If you guys don't know, I have a racing company called the Three Bros Running Company, and people have asked me on there whenever I throw on races, can they transfer their bib? And I've had a policy of yes, of course you can, but our races are smaller. We have less than 400 people run our races, so it's not a big deal for me to do it. It does take a little bit of time, so I can only imagine how much time it would take for a big race like the Houston Marathon, where they have 27,000 runners running that race, how big an issue that can be for them. And you know what? At the end of the day, he shouldn't have done it. And the reason why you don't run with someone else's bib is a lot of times your bib is connected to your name, to your emergency info. So if you do end up getting injured on the course, then that means all the information is wrong. Like, for instance, I ran a race, the Woodlands Marathon, and I actually forgot my bib, which is pretty bad too myself. And I was a pacer, so I told the pace leader, the guy in charge of us, he's part of the Woodlands Marathon, I asked him, I forgot my bib, can I just run in a pacer's bib? And I did. So I ran in my pacer's bib, and I actually DNF'd that race. It got hot, I ended up throwing up a lot. I got in the van, and they asked me my bib number, and of course I didn't know it, I didn't have it. So there was a little bit of a delay in getting my information. So truthfully, I shouldn't have been on the course without an actual bib. So I'm at fault too there. But they did let me do it. I did tell the race that I didn't have a bib. They let me run with a pacer's bib. But that instance like that, there's issues with, what if I was hurt? What if I was injured? What if I couldn't talk? Then they couldn't have gotten my information. Usually runners don't carry their phone. The only ID that they do have is gonna be their bib number. So that's why that is important. And also in the case of Matt's, he actually ran a sub-3 time for Boston, and that's gonna qualify that person's bib for Boston Marathon. And some people may be like, what's the big deal? Boston Marathon, who cares? But a lot of people strive for that Boston Marathon time. So if he runs the race for his friend, no matter what his intentions are, he's still got a BQ time. So you're really taking away someone else's BQ entry because that person got in beside you. But of course, Matt did get caught with that, so that person will still be able to run. But yeah, definitely don't run in someone else's bib. I know people don't know a lot of the rules of running. I think that was one of the big things that I saw in the comment section, was that he's pretty new to running, and some people don't know that kind of stuff. So hopefully he learned from this, and I'm sure he did. I'm sure he won't be running a bandited race again. For instance, myself, I wanted to run the Houston Marathon. My buddy, he was injured. He couldn't run it. I could have ran the half marathon if I wanted to, but I knew that I shouldn't do it. And second of all, I know that people actually do follow my race. Like, if I tell people I'm running a race here on YouTube, they're gonna look me up on the Houston Marathon website and try to find me, try to follow me, try to find my times. And literally that's what happened with him. People looked up his times, didn't find his times, and probably, said something to Marathon's investigations or whatever. But yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. I know it should be easier as a race director. It should be easier. I wish it was. I'll definitely talk to Run Sign Up. I'll be over there in Denver next month, so I'll talk to Run Sign Up about how easy it is actually to transfer bibs. Is it more our faults as race directors, or is it really something that takes a little bit of time where you actually have to hire a whole nother team just to take care of that? Another thing that people were mentioning in the comments was, why don't we allow bib transfers all the time? I can see one issue about this. If you guys are like Ticketmaster, if you guys see Ticketmaster, and if they allow bib transfer so easily, it's the same thing as Ticketmaster. People could buy up all the races for the Houston Marathon and then drive up those prices in ticket sales for sure. And you don't want that. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be paying more money for a race than they do already. So let's just not run other people's bibs. And I know that Matt Choi definitely learned a lesson from this, and hopefully that sticks with him and many of y'all for a long time. Don't run other people's bibs. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Don't do it, especially if you're an influencer. You might get caught. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video on my thoughts of this little incident. Matt Choi, you do awesome things. I do follow you on TikTok. If you do end up watching this video, I love your stuff. Just don't run out other people's bibs. All right, guys, hope you guys enjoy this video. See you guys in next time. Peace out.